Here we have a new 2024 Buick Enclave Avenir. This Enclave comes with all-wheel drive. Comes in the beautiful white frost tricoat. And then we have the whisper beige with ebony accented perforated leather interior. The powertrain consists of a 3.6 liter naturally aspirated V6 engine, and that's mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. But as we come around to the front end here, I just love the overall presence of the Avenir, especially that grille looks beautiful. We have our LED headlamps along with LED daytime running lights. And as I've reviewed this vehicle over the years, I've just come to love the front end there. But as we come around to the side here, we get these 20-inch aluminum wheels. And it's just chrome throughout. We get passive keyless entry on all 4 doors. I love the trim there, power door lock controls, and the memory seating, just hit set, hold the number you want to set it to. And then we have power mirror controls here. We can turn those on and off and adjust direction for either side. Rear window locks here. We have power folding mirrors with blind spot monitors. And then we have one-touch automatic up and down for the driver's side window, and then express down for the other 3 windows. And then we have our power liftgate control here. We can set that to off, 3/4 of the way up or all the way up. We can open and shut. Clicking that button, Bose sound system. We have an electronic parking brake there. Just press it to engage, hit the brake, press it again to disengage. Head-up display controls there, gauge cluster function here. We get a power tilt and telescoping steering wheel. Here's the hood release. And here is our driver's seat with power lumbar, and then we also have massage function as well. So I'm going to test that out after a while, but a huge shout out to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Enclave today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So we're going to go ahead and check out this leg room. So not too bad. And then I can scoot it back some more, but it's bumping into the 3rd row because that's folded down at the moment. So you have pretty good leg room back here, and I can lean this seat up quite a bit. So not bad at all. Love the seat back pockets on both sides. Still have several inches of headroom and tons of space in the middle here to get back and forth from the 3rd row easily. We can adjust the fan speed for the back here, change the mode, so that changes your fan direction, and then we can turn the auto mode on and off, and then just adjust the fan speed there, as well as temperature. And then we have 3-stage heated seats for the outboard captain chairs back here, and then a 3-prong household plug-in, 2 USB-A charge ports. I would expect to see some USB-Cs when this gets a refresher redesign, which I expect to be either next year or the year after. But still very luxurious in here. Grab handles here. Probably hang a plastic hanger if we try hard enough, and then several metal hanger hooks there. But again, just a very luxurious interior. So I'm gonna scoot this up so I can get that 3rd row to come up there. And this sticker's right at, I believe, $62,895. Window stickers there, but it's hard to see through the tint. But as we come around to the back end here, also a beautiful sight there. More chrome, and I love those kind of blacked out tail lights. With those being LED, just a great look from the back. There's a look underneath the vehicle. And sorry about the bird droppings throughout. With this being a white vehicle, especially with it clean, I'm sure they had a ball getting all over it there. But we do have power folding seats for the 3rd row, but with that cargo cover in the way, I can't fold them all the way up. But we do have USB-A ports in the back with cup holders. But again, you can power fold those up and down from back here. And then you have a 12-volt there, and then storage compartment there. But as we come around to the rear passenger side, if you ever want to fold that seat down, just pull here, and then when the seat's up far enough, it'll fold flat. And then from the third row, you can pull this, and then it'll slide it up that way. One thing I do wish we had, especially for a vehicle at this price range, is rear window blinds. Even with these dark tinted windows, I still, especially having a baby, it's nice to have the sun pretty much completely blocked from their eyes so they're not waking up from a nap. It's a 12 volt there, glove compartment. But I mean, other than the rear blinds, really not missing anything for me, at least. Because we do have the dual pane sunroof, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But as we come back around to the front here, it's covered up, but there's that trusty naturally aspirated V6. But let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So nice leather wrap steering wheel here. We can heat that. Toggle for that is right there on the steering wheel itself. And again, having that power tilt telescope function is very nice. But over here to the radio, we do get AM, FM, XM radio along with Bluetooth audio, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Navigation screen is here. Still a pretty good system. It's older compared to the Google Assistants that you get in the newer vehicles, but I can type in destination, it'll start pulling stuff up. And this one is built in, so you don't have to pay a subscription for this. And then shortcuts, you can set up your home, all of that. And then we do have Wi-Fi hotspot. All of our settings are in here, so time and date, you can change there. Language, you can change there. And then to connect your phone, just go in here, add phone, it walks you right through it. Then all of our apps are here. Vehicle settings, including teen driver, and if you want a trailer, you have that as well. And then we get dual zone automatic climate controls along with the rear AC controls that are automatic, so that makes tri-zone. But for the front, you can adjust temperature, fan direction, fan speed, all of that very easily. But you have buttons for that down below as well. So we can sync there and unsync by changing the temp. And then our auto mode, same thing. We just adjust fan speed and fan direction after hitting that button to turn that off. And then we have our front camera with guidelines that follow us along with the 360 view. We get the curbside view, trailer hitch view, and then when I put in reverse, we get all of that from the back. Now again, we do have these AC knobs down here, wireless charging pad, SD card reader for the navigation, then the USB-C, USB-A port here, auto stop toggle, all-wheel drive, and we can go through our drive modes. You just have Tour and Sport, and then hazards are here, parking sensor toggle there, lane keep assist with lane departures right there. Now for this push button shifter, press P for park, pull up here for reverse, press there for neutral, pull up there for drive, and press L, and then in that low gear you can manually shift if you choose to. And then we have those stow cup holders. I love the trim here. It looks very, very sleek. And in our center console cubby space, we have these trays, or this tray that we can lift out, and then we have additional space underneath it. And if you want to just remove it completely, you can just put it up somewhere. Rear camera mirror, turn that on and off there. Universal garage door transmitter, and then this middle button is for that rear sunshade, so we can slide that back and forth, and that's power. Now you do have to hold it down. It's not one touch, but you don't have to do that much. It's not like you have to hold it all day, so it's not too bad. Well, that's how you open and shut that. And then you have the manual shade here, and then you have those buttons right here, so you can one touch tilt or slide from the front there. So again, it's a luxurious vehicle. And I do like the exterior styling as I've gotten used to it. But to the stalks behind the steering wheel, blinkers are there, and then you have your low beams, auto. You can toggle that auto mode on and off, and then your automatic high beams, you can toggle those as well. And when you're in your low beam mode, you can toggle your high beams there and then flash there. And then in the auto, again, you just toggle that and the high beams will do what they're supposed to do. Windshield wiper controls over here on the right side. One time there, that's off. Then you have auto, low, high. And then in your auto mode, you can adjust the sensitivity of those auto wipers right there. And then your rear wipers here, it's off, intermittent, on. And then pull back for that rear wiper fluid, push up for the front wiper fluid. Now behind the steering wheel on the left side, you can go through your track list, your radio station presets. And then behind on the right side, you have the volume control up, down there. And then to the cruise controls, we do have that. We can turn on and off, cancel, and then gap adjust for the adaptive cruise, voice recognition, and this is a Bluetooth control. It's also a mute button. And then we have the scroll bar here and these arrows we can use to go through the sub menu. So when I go through here, actually I want to show you, this is you have two different views you can choose from. So this is the more, I guess, the lighter version. So kind of like the tour mode version. And then you can change that from touring to sport, and then the sport looks like that. So those are the differences there. And you can toggle the traction and stability control from here, as well as change your units of measurements from US to metric if you want to do that. And then for your info pages, you can set all those up. And then follow distance, you can put that on, things of that nature. So I'm gonna show you all that. And then of course, audio, nav, and phone, all that's pretty self-explanatory. You just pull up those settings there. But tire pressure monitors, I love having the fuel economy meter up. I don't know why it's not standard, but that's just how it comes from the factory, because that's kind of important in my opinion. But you do have that meter there. But push button starts here. Here's the key fob with remote start. And next, let's go ahead and take this 2024 Buick Enclave Avenir out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Enclave Avenir, this does have an option for the premium ride suspension. It's got some kind of chassis option too. I can't remember exactly what it's called. I'll put it in the description below. But basically that's supposed to make it ride just as smooth as it can. And of course the Enclave stock rides pretty well anyway. But so far so good. Nothing out of the ordinary. With it being a Buick Enclave, I expect the ride to be stellar. I'm gonna put into the low gear and test out these paddle shifters. So shifts are pretty on point. It doesn't shift too quickly, but it also isn't slow to do what you tell it to. But we'll get it up to speed here. And with the adaptive cruise on, I'm gonna put the gap all the way back. And a very comfortable ride, actually. Now we do have the lane keep assist with the lane departure, so it'll ping you back and forth in the lines. And for the most part, it does a pretty good job. And as it feels you getting out, you'll see that indicator down there is yellow. And then when it's in a good spot, it'll turn green. Now, of course, you don't want to let go of the steering wheel here because this isn't a lane centering assistant. But again, it does a pretty remarkable job. I loved having mine. I had a 16 Chevy Malibu Premier, and that lane keep system was pretty great. And this just takes it up a notch. And of course, you can get that lane centering and whatnot with Super Cruise if you choose to get that. But sound acoustics in the cabin are fantastic. I drove by a pretty loud 18-wheeler and it just sounded really good in here. I could hear the truck, but it wasn't like it was right next to me, if that makes sense. And a very smooth ride coming down that stretch of interstate as well. Now, in terms of competition, the first thing that comes to mind for me is going to be the QX60 from Infiniti. This has more of a bigger presence to it than that, but it's pretty on point with just the amenities you get. I think the driving experience, even the powertrain in general, I think those have a 9-speed with a 3.5 V6. And then, you know, the Highlander, things in that class. But for me, this has always been, I think, the Cadillac of the Buick franchise, just in the sense of what it competes with. I think you could compare it to maybe a comparable Mercedes, BMW, Audi, but it's not necessarily there. But of course, you're not paying for that either. Just a good riding 3-row SUV, tons of space, tons of capability. Just no extra stuff that you have to pay 10, 15, 20 grand for. Except maybe for the Avenir package as opposed to the standard one, but you're not gonna get an Enclave to hit 6 figures like you will some of these other luxury 3-row SUVs in this class. And like the Cadillac XT6, I think this is made to be a competitor for the European brands. It just, again, doesn't do a bunch of extra stuff. So it's very tame. I think it's elegant in a sense. And it's just not, it doesn't pop when you see one of these on the road. You might think, what is that? But it doesn't necessarily draw attention. And I think a lot of people in this market, that's what they want. They just want a subtle vehicle that gets the job done. And they're not necessarily needing to pay all this money just to have something flashy. But you certainly get the ride quality you'd expect from a German automaker. Again, the powertrain is not necessarily made to compete in that sense with a twin turbo V8 or something like that, but it's plenty capable, especially with this all-wheel drive system. And I didn't get to test the sport mode out just because I didn't want to thrash this one too much. But the sport mode just makes the shifts a little bit. It wants to rev higher, of course. It wants to shift later. And most people looking at this vehicle probably won't use that too much. But again, for $62,000, $63,000, you get a lot. And this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Buick Enclave Avenir with all-wheel drive.